Hello and welcome to the AgriHQ Livestock Insight Report update brought to you by the AgriHQ analysts. I'm Sarah Friel.
And I'm Nicola Dennis.
And we're just going to really quickly run you through last week's North Island and South Island Livestock Insight Report. So, Nicola, tell us about what was on the front page last week.
On the front page, we had a viewpoint. It said something along the lines of US is looking positive, but not out of the woods yet, which certainly sums up the situation. So the US is underpinning strength in the beef, lamb, and venison markets, although venison still has a long road to recovery. The US is hungry for imported meat, and the fact that they have a growing export beef market to China for their own beef exacerbates the shortages. However, we are not out of the woods yet. They've got 20,000 cases of COVID a day and 400 deaths, and their economy is propped up by trillions of dollars worth of stimulus packages. So yeah, not out of the woods there. But on a positive note, we are seeing growth in our traditional US markets, but then we're also seeing an opening up of retail markets there that have grown since COVID. And that's only, new markets have only got to be a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the near term, there does appear to be a bit of confidence funneling from the US into the New Zealand beef processors. So one contact mentioned to me, as long as values continue to track upwards alongside the New Zealand dollar, then margins still should be pretty strong in the near term. And that's leading to us to see a few upticks in prices next week on bull and prime. There was already a little bit of jostling in that space last week, driven by some smaller companies fighting over supply. But if we want to talk about upward prices, we should probably talk to Nicola, because in the South Island, it looks like they're set to take off.
Yeah, what is going on? So we did see some significant uptick in beef schedules for this week, despite remaining cattle backlogs. As far as I can gather, a big driver there was the difference between the North Island and the South Island farmgate prices. They had got a little unreasonable, and also the end of the cows is in sight, and those backlogs can unravel pretty rapidly if double or triple booking is in play. But of course, since then, we've had some significant rain events, which will probably disrupt transport. And in the store cattle side of things, we've had almost all of the Canterbury sales cancelled due to road damage. So we are going to have to just keep an eye on things there. It's certainly not a certain situation.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see what role that plays in the North Island store market. Obviously, we've not had the extreme weather event here that has happened in the South Island. However, anyone who's been paying attention in the sale yards will have noticed that we have had quite a few South Island offerings funneling up just to target a bit more buying power in this island. But in the North Island last week, we did see a bit more buying power funneling out of King Country and Northland, who have had a bit of rain, feeling a bit more confident with feed, and have seen their own prices jostle upwards a little bit, which is good. They're taking up a bit of the demand left by Hawke's Bay, which is still really dry at the moment.
And on the lamb page, we've had a scurry for lamb. It looked like processors were really working hard to find their level last week. It was quite a mix of approaches in terms of schedules. We are getting to that point where it is really hard to incentivize lambs off farm. If they're on crop, they're going to remain there till spring. The store lambs were a hot property. Scanned and lamb ewes, which were hitting the market last week, they weren't so easy to sell. The feed is still very much a limiting factor there, and the recent weather won't have helped the situation.
In the North Island, after a pretty big jump over the last few weeks in farmgate prices, it looks like the lamb indicator might hold steady going into this week. It seems that companies have found a level that they're happy with on schedule. Obviously, we do have those contracts kicking in now, which will be absorbing some of that supply as well. But like Nicola said, the store market is very hot at the moment and is also competing for that supply. In some places, there was about $6 a head more in the paddock than there is at the farm gate for lamb. So that is definitely something to weigh up for farmers who are a bit dry and need a speedy offload.
Yeah, we were seeing a little bit of that in last week's South Island sale yards. Some of the store lamb pens were outpacing the fat lambs on a per head basis.
Mm.
I guess it's a function of the long-term confidence, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So, and there was a bit of a difference in the North Island. There was quite a range of prices paid, and that seems to signal people who have signed contracts and have a guaranteed return that they're eyeing up, and those who are just targeting what they expect will be a pretty positive farm gate in spring, but don't have a guarantee as of yet.
And we done all this store and slaughter? We have.
Yes.
We have. Okay, so then it's time to talk about what's in the report for this week. We're going to keep an eye on the weather. You can't avoid that. We're going to have a look at the export value statistics, which have come in, and an update on wool. Of course, all your usual indicators for what's going on in the store, slaughter and export markets. So all that'll be in your inbox on Friday if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, head along to agrihq.co.nz and get yourself sorted out.